Yo, what's going down, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston here, and today I am back for episode 1 of my new 2K MyLeague series here on NBA 2K17. So I made the video a couple days ago about what team, or I wanted your guys' input on what team I should use, and the results of the poll code were as follows. The New Orleans Pelicans won with 103 of the 487 total votes. That was 21%, which was the, not the majority, but did get the most votes. Second place was Dallas with 77, and then Washington with 64. So New Orleans was a team that I was thinking about anyway, and they were kind of one of the ones that I preferred of the list that I made the poll code with. So I liked the idea of doing them, and we're just going to start in the regular season. I do like that they added this option to start in the offseason, though. I think it would be interesting to experiment with this. But I kind of like the way that New Orleans is set up right now, and I do kind of want to use the rest of the league as it is right now instead of kind of messing around too much. So I haven't looked too much into all of these settings. I might look for some something on Operation Sports or anything. Yeah, because I don't really know what would be good for any of these, but I know I'm going to put this on Superstar, and I really haven't played too much 2K this year. I don't even know if they have simulation game style still. But, alright, rest of this looks good. And we are going to use New Orleans, so we're going to be trying to basically save Anthony Davis. And basically, I mean, the reason I wanted to use New Orleans over Dallas, because Dallas did get the second most, and I probably got more comments about Dallas than I did about New Orleans, but what I like about New Orleans over Dallas is that they don't have a lot of money long-term invested in guys other than Davis, whereas the Mavericks just signed Harrison Barnes to a max contract. And they don't really have anyone, you know, they don't have that franchise centerpiece guy like Davis. They just have Barnes, and then of course they have old guys like Nowitzki, Darren Williams, who are not going to be on the team in the near future. But so I like I mean, I think the Pelicans is probably a little bit easier of a situation, but the thing I like about them is they have their own pick this year, so they can tank. And we also have Drew Holiday, who's a free agent at the end of the year and could potentially be a trade chip. Possibly we could pick up another first-round pick. And, you know, in what is looking like a pretty nice draft class, we could possibly have 2 first-round picks, you know, 2 hopefully lottery picks, guys that we could use to develop around Anthony Davis. But anyway, we have to decide on the draft class. So I haven't looked too much into these. I did do a couple of test associations the other night, or MyLeagues, and used a few different draft classes. But I know Rubnovich's is pretty good. Embrace the Pace. I couldn't find if Embrace the Pace had any draft classes beyond just this year's, but I recognize that name from 2K's past. But I think I'm going to go with Rubnovich's just because he has been updating his, and they also have quite a bit of downloads. So yeah, we're just going to do that. And he's got 3 straight years, which I really like. And yeah, we can do storylines, why not? Alright, so cool. So in this episode, I think I'm going to simulate maybe the first, I don't know, 30 games or so. And this is going to be a semi-league, so, you know, it is going to be, I'm going to play games every once in a while. Like, I might do 20, 30 games of simulation in this episode, possibly play a game, and then go straight to the trade deadline or something like that. It's going to be kind of loose structure, but I do want to do a little bit of simulating, get the season started in this episode. So, alright, first I want to look at scouting. I think our head scout's he comes to us when he's ready to scout, so I don't have to worry about that quite yet. But I do want to set the rotation, all teams. So, alright, Holiday is in there, he's active, he's an 80 overall. I think that's actually a bit underrated. I think Holiday's probably should be closer to like an 83, in my opinion. But, and Evans, I don't know why he's reserved right now. Yeah, let's auto rebuild, and then we'll go from there. So this gives us Holiday, Moore, Tyreek, Davis, and Ashik, Jones. Yeah, okay, so this is, I'm fine with the auto lineup. And then I'll quickly take a look at free agents as well, just to see if there's anyone worth picking up, but probably not. But you never know. I could try to go for Monty Eunice. Actually, I do like Monty Eunice as a guy who could play around Davis. Our roster's full. Just because, I mean, if long-term I'm thinking Davis is probably going to be our center. I know he's listed at power forward, but it'd be nice to kind of play inside out with a guy like Davis. And that's kind of the other reason why I wanted to use the Pelicans, is because not only do we have Davis, but he's a big man, and I really think a cool storyline around the league that's kind of slowly developing, and that I can really get behind is the development of all these really good young big men. We got Porzingis, of course. Boogie Cousins is kind of already there, but then guys on top of that like Joel Embiid, who's going to be a beast, and of course Karl Anthony Towns. So that's like 4 really good centers, and you know, we've got the Timberwolves, and we know we're going to be a force in the Western Conference, especially in 2K, so it's going to be important to have Davis. So I think that's kind of a cool storyline to get behind. But alright, so yeah, we were thinking about Monty Eunice, and I want to release someone from the roster. So let's check the Diallo, Anthony Brown, Buddy Hield. Yeah, Buddy Hield. Unfortunately, Hield is looking a lot like a bust these days. He's got B+ potential in this, though. So, you know, at worst, maybe he could turn into a nice bench player, which, you know, is probably all they could really hope for at this point. But, I mean, we'll see. Hield, it's the book. The book is not closed on him, but he's not been impressive. I think we're gonna cut Anthony Brown though, even though. Wait, let's go by position. Always makes this easier. Yeah, alright, we could use another big man. So it's going to be Anthony Brown. And I do want to try and sign Monty Eunice. Oh yeah, and he's not even, I mean, the Nets signed him to a huge deal. Oh, but I don't know if it's going to allow us to do it with the cap room. Oh. Alright, well, never mind. So we get him. I don't want Lance. Goodwin. Alright. So that's good. And let's edit the rotation one more time. Okay, Monty Eunice 19 minutes off the bench. So him and Terrence Jones are going to compete for a lot of those power forward minutes. But alright. So let's get to simulating. Let's do first 2 weeks or so. Being offered the following trade. So I hope the trades aren't going to be too out of control in this. Wow. Alright, well, if we're already getting offers like this, I don't have high hopes, but we win our first 2 games, including against the Warriors. We're actually 3-2, so doing pretty well. Let's leave the rotation as is. Let Holiday play through that. We lose to Golden State the second time around, but still playing pretty well. I'm not interested in trading for Tony Parker. But we're 5-3 through our first 8 games. And this would be kind of an interesting twist. I expected we were going to start out, you know, relatively similarly to the real-life Pelicans, who did not start out well, of course. But alright, here we go. Pick prospects. So we're going to scout the top of the draft to start. Top 6 prospects. That's all we can do. Top 7. They do 7 at a time now. Okay. So that is that. Keep simulating. Keep winning. 9-5. This is pretty surprising. 10-6. 5th in the conference. 2nd in the division. So, I mean, I'm assuming this is mainly due to Davis just having a beast, being a beast. Let's look at the team statistics. Yeah, Davis, 25-11, 2.5 blocks. But Tyreek's having a really good year, 17 a game. I don't know if that's going to sustain. And then Drew's not even shooting very well. He's only, I mean, he's 15-7, but only shooting 40%, but Tyreek's 41% from behind the line. And Monty Eunice with 80 game off the bench. What's he shooting? That went too far. He is shooting, oh yeah, because he hasn't even gotten it going from behind the arc, so maybe, I don't know. It'd be hard to expect us to get better, but let's keep going a little bit, see if this keeps up. This could just, you know, be early season, whatever. And also, you know, we got to be careful about Davis. I mean, if he gets hurt, then we're definitely going to be screwed. And maybe coming back to earth a little bit here, 11-8 now. Let's do the same prospects. Leave rotation as is. Clippers, ooh, a nice win there. I'm not interested in trading Anthony Davis. Sorry, Utah. 13-9. Let's keep going. We got Golden State again coming up here. And 3 losses in a row, down to 500 now. So coming back to reality a little bit, perhaps. Let's take a look at the rest of these standings. And I want to see who's really dipped to the bottom. So 2 teams in the West, Minnesota and Sacramento, quickly falling to the bottom of the conference. And in the East, yeah, good glut of teams down here. So the only reason is I am kind of watching the reverse standings as well, because, you know, in the long term, I care a lot more about where this pick is going to end up, as opposed to, you know, if we make the playoffs as an 8 seed. I don't really see a whole lot of value in that, so I'm not going to be too eager to do that. And I think I might try to play this Clippers game. That'd be an interesting matchup, Davis against kind of Griffin and Jordan. I think that would be make for a good gameplay. Alright, and we don't want to scout these guys anymore. Let's do the next 7 guys on the big board. Whoops. I don't know what I just did. Those guys. Right. See, why is it? Oh, wait. I see we didn't get this guy. Isaiah Hartenstein has... Yeah, Hartenstein. That's a weird name. But whatever he has, jumped up the big board a little bit. So we'll scout him. Lose to Houston. So now things starting to fall apart, it seems. And Monty Eunice having back issues. That's not good. Ooh, a first-round pick for Terrence Jones. It's not till 2019. It's unprotected. It's a very tempting trade. Chicago, I mean, you don't really know what they're going to be in the future just because one of their best players is Dwayne Wade, and he's already in his mid-30s, so that's a very tempting trade, but that pick is 3 years down the road, and I'm not really thinking about that right now. So I'm going to hang on to Jones. We've lost 9 games in a row. Let's get to the LA game, and then we're going to kind of take stock of where things are at this point in the season. No, I'm not interested in that. We finally win a game against Miami. And we've got Dallas. That's another winnable game, but we lose that at home by 26 points. So definitely, not only have we come back to earth, but things are now kind of starting to shape up. We've fallen out of the playoff picture. We're 10th place in the conference. Let's look at the standings. 10th place, we are a full 2 games back of a playoff spot and only a game and a half back from the absolute bottom of the conference. Now going over to the Eastern Conference, and we're only, so we're only a few games away from the Knicks record, and you look at the Pistons 12-21 and the Mavericks 12-20, so similar kind of bottom of the conference pictures as well. So I kind of like to see that. I mean, we're definitely not too far away from a top pick, and the way things are going, I feel encouraged. Now, obviously, when I play this game, I'm gonna try and win. At the end of the day, 1 game's probably not going to matter too much. 2 or 3 games if I decide to do that. I'll probably play 1 game this season before the trade deadline and then 1 game after. Next episode will be this Clippers game, and then after that, I think maybe simulate up to the trade deadline, do the trade deadline, and then play 1 more game and then get to the offseason. Something like that will probably be how the structure of this year goes, but we'll take 1 more look at the statistics and then call it an episode. So Davis, 24-10, 10.5, still... Blocks have come down a little bit, so coming down a little bit from where he was early in the season, but still putting up very good numbers. Tyreek has definitely regressed. Look at his shooting. That's all you need to know is look at what it was a few weeks ago now, what it is. But Drew, similar numbers. His assists are down, but the shooting has not really improved. So I'm thinking, I mean, if this season continues to go this way, both of these guys could be trade candidates. Tyreek is, what's his contract look like? I know... what am I doing here? I know Drew isn't expiring. Is there a way I can just look at the contracts? Player contracts. Here we go. So, let's look at highest paid players. Wow, so we are paying Solomon Hill a lot of money. I did not realize they gave him this contract. But okay, Tyreek is a free agent at the end of the year too. So, these are 2 guys who I'm not sure I really want to re-sign. And if I could trade them for picks, I think that would be a pretty good move. Yeah, I don't really want to resign them. I don't want to tie up money long term, and not really much we can do about the Ashik or Hill contracts right now. I mean, $11 million bucks. Hill's is 75 overall. He's going to be a 3-point shooter off the bench. That's probably not ideal, but with where the cap is going in this league, what are you going to do? So anyway, that is going to do it for episode 1 of my new 2K MyLeague series. I hope you guys did enjoy. I already laid out the structure. The next episode we're going to be taking on the Clippers, so I hope you guys are excited for that league. Leave a like if you are. And that is going to do it. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.